I am not a runner, but I am someone who wants to get better at running, mainly just to feel in better shape and get in better shape. I have no goals of like a marathon or anything, but maybe that day will come. Who knows? So I'm going to take you through all the stuff that I use or what I do in order to run. Asics or Adidas Light Strike. I don't know if these are a great shoe. Probably not, but I don't run enough for me to really want to buy a nice running shoe. They work for me and the very short amount of running that I do, so that's what I'm rolling with. I got these like 7 years ago for Christmas, so these are what I use for headphones. And then I just recently got some Oakleys that I use for sunglasses. I really like these, so if this is, one thing that I would actually recommend, it's these Oakleys. I'll try and find what exact model they are, but I really like them. And then otherwise, shorts are from Gymshark. These have a zipper pocket, which is really good for keys or anything else that you want to keep. And really that's about it. That's all you need. Like something to put the stuff that you want to have on you. Sunglasses. A lot of it is going to deal with, obviously, if the sun is out, but also I don't want the wind getting in my eyes and drying them out. So I'm going to wear these as well. That's more necessary if you're a biker, obviously, because you're going faster. But I do still think it's, kind of convenient. And also, the sunglasses look cool, so I'm going to wear them, I guess. But yeah, that's really all you need. You don't even need the headphones. You don't even need the sunglasses. You don't even need great shoes to get started. I got started in just like random tennis shoes that I had. And then I eventually got these. And again, I'm not running enough for me to really need super great shoes, so I'm not going to invest in those. But yeah, that's what I wear. And then I will show you what I do for warm up roughly, me a little bit during the running and then after. One last thing, caffeination, not necessary at all. You do not have to. However, there has been some studies that have found that it can be beneficial, especially for distance running comparative to something like resistance training, which is what I predominantly do. So if you do want to have some caffeine, you can go for it. Doesn't matter what type you want. If you want to take the pills, if you want to take a drink, if you want to take a pre-workout, really doesn't matter. Just find what works for you. Coffee, tea, whatever. Run gum is even a thing that has caffeine in it, but it is beneficial, has been found to be beneficial. So if you can stomach caffeine and you think that it helps you, go for it. And then for warm up, I'm really just gonna do some leg swings, some calf stretches, a couple lunges, a couple ankle rotations, because for me, my ankles get a little bit sore when I first start running. And that's really about it. It doesn't take much to get ready. Generally, you want to practice how you're gonna perform or warm up doing the movements that you're gonna do. So I like to start off with just like a light jog after I do some mild stretching, then get into the pace that I want to maintain. What I've kind of come to the idea of what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do 4 miles total with trying to maintain a decently fast pace for me. Obviously, other people are going to be faster, but I'm going to break that up with some walking in between. The reason I'm doing that is I want to increase my endurance. So if I'm wanting to increase my endurance at a faster pace, I'm going to take shorter breaks in between where I can walk, recover, and then go again into that faster pace. I can do a decent amount of miles slowly, but I want to get better at doing a decent amount of miles at a faster pace. So that means breaking it up over time and getting better at it. That's how I'm going to structure it. That's how I want to do it for my training. You might find that something else works different for you, but that works for me. So now just doing ankle rotations. And then we're gonna get into it after some lunges and then a couple hip openers. I just did some right there, but my hips are a little tight, so I'm gonna do a couple more. Again, it really comes down to what you need for what you're doing and how your body responds to training. If your glutes get really sore after, your quads get really sore after, your hamstrings, whatever else, notice that. And then in your next warm up, do things that help that. All right, first walking section after running. Again, trying to maintain a near sprinting pace or very fast jog pace. So as soon as I feel myself starting to get to the point where I'm getting a lot of fatigue build up and I'm not able to maintain that, pause the timer, walk until my heart rate goes down, then redo. Again, with pausing the timer though, that doesn't count towards 4 miles. So what I'm trying to do is simulate doing 4 miles at a fast pace, while obviously I'm not able to do that yet. So breaking it up with these walking sections in between to regain my heart rate, shuttle lactate, and then be able to do that again is going to get me to the point where I can do 4 miles fast. So I'll check back in after this walking section is done. I sprint again and on to the next. Break 2 here. And one thing I wanted to mention is that if you're trying to do the similar training to what I'm doing right now, don't let your heart rate get completely down to baseline again before you run. It's okay to still have a mild elevated heart rate. If you have a watch where you can track it, obviously it's a lot easier, but if you don't, if you want to get to the point where you could have a conversation with somebody without taking as many breaths as I am. So if you can get through a sentence without taking a breath, you're probably good to go again. If you're me right now, where 2 or 3 breaths in a conversation, you need to rest longer. So again, if you have a watch, easy to tell. If not, just use the tip that I just gave. So break 2 here, and then we're back at it. And one thing I think I kind of mentioned in one of the earlier videos I made is that I'm trying to maintain a certain pace. Now, as much as I am trying to do that for this 4 miles, another way that you can gauge if you are going at the pace that you want or knowing when to take these breaks where you walk is if you can kind of tell your heart rate's getting a lot faster, if your breathing is getting either more sporadic or you're really having to breathe deep. That's okay to a certain extent, but once it gets to a point where, you know, it's almost hyperventilating or you're very sporadic with your breathing, probably when you should start walking. And then also is your form decaying? So am I not driving my arms as much? Am I not picking up my knees as high? Am I starting to, kind of round my arms when I'm going? Is my foot plant, or where I plant my foot, is it starting to drag really far behind me and I'm leaning a lot forward? These are things where if you start noticing your running form decay like that, probably time to start this walk. Catch your breath, let the lactate shuttle out of your legs, and then continue. Brief intermission here, a little over halfway done. Wanted to grab a drink, go to the bathroom. But one thing I wanted to say here is if you like the content that I post and you want to show us some love, subscribing, comment, like, I'd greatly appreciate it. I've been open about this since the start of me posting. I'm very self-conscious about it, and still am. If you look back at my old Instagram posts, it was usually in my captions about how it was uncomfortable, and I'm trying to work on that, and I still am. It's been a while since I've started, and I've made growth in ways of mentally being better about accepting that I have a good message to share and that I want to continue doing it, but also understanding that it's going to be uncomfortable for probably a very long time. So it's a message to me that I'm trying to say right now to continue going, but it's also a message to anyone watching this that, for one, I appreciate you supporting it, but also if you have an endeavor that you want to do, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to start posting on other social media, you want to start a new job, a new hobby, whatever it is, go for it. Yeah, I know the whole YOLO thing is so overdone, right? But it is true. You get one shot to do what you love, and so you might as well do it. It's better to do it and fail and know that you tried than to never try and always wonder. I've been doing a whole lot of yapping in between, talking about things with running, and so this time I have a question, if you're still watching. What do you listen to when you run? So right now I'm listening to some old rap like Biggie, 50, Tupac, and that's not the always go-to. I really switch it up. So what do you listen to? Maybe give me some song recommendations and I'll try them out on my next run. Okay, 4 miles down, 8:33 pace throughout, average heart rate 165, and then not much else matters, but yeah, we're done. So that's the main thing.
Again, that was not a good entry as to what my 4 mile straight would look like because I was taking breaks in between. But if I want to get better at my 4 mile and I can't run 4 miles, that's what I'm gonna do. Or if I can't run 4 miles at the pace that I want to, break it up into smaller pieces, do it as you can. So if you're trying to get better at distance running, maybe that's the way that you want to approach it. Not saying it's the best, there's many ways to skin a cat, but that's the way that I'm approaching it. Now, if you've watched far into this video, or this far into this video, I'm gonna put up the Strava, boom, right there, of what it looks like. That way you know I'm not lying. And then also I'm gonna slap up a couple of the songs that I listen to as a bonus for watching all the way through. That way you get some songs to maybe help you set a new PR in your 4 mile. Now, obviously, if you're someone watching this who already does 4 miles real fast, good for you. If you wanna say that I'm slow, that's perfectly fine. I know I am. But if you're someone who is saying, I don't even know if I can run a mile, that's fine. Break a mile into smaller parts. There's no one that says that you have to run a mile straight. You can do it by quarter mile, do it by 10, do 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 over and over again until you get 1 mile. Break it into smaller pieces and reach your end goal. Start where you're at. You don't need to set these crazy unrealistic goals for yourself. This workout for me was a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, what got me through it is recording this video. Otherwise, I probably would have made a compromise with myself at mile 2, mile 3 and said, okay, that's enough. And then I'll just walk afterwards for the extra mile. I probably would have done that. I'm not joking. But you guys get to be my sense of consistency, because I'm not gonna record all these videos and then lie and say I ran 4 when I didn't. So I'll post the Strava and you can see that I did. But if you're a person who can't run 4 miles, can't run 1 mile, start where you can. Start with walking, jog half a mile and walk the other half. Start where you are. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but you'll get better over time. Back in the car here to drive one last point home. What you do during your run or during your exercise obviously matters, right? If you're going 50%, you're not going to get as much out of your exercise as if you gave it your all. However, you know what sets you up well to give your 100%? Not only what occurs before you go out and do your exercise, but also after. So prior to me working out, I did my warm up, but I also made sure I was hydrated, made sure I slept well, made sure I ate well. After this, I'm gonna walk a little bit as my cool down. On top of that, I'm gonna eat a healthy meal. I'm gonna get plenty of sleep. I'm gonna hydrate. This is my electrolytes in here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow or the next time I do a run or the next time I do a workout. So making sure that you're doing things before and after your exercise is just as important, if not more important, than what you're doing during your exercise. I know I talk about this a million times on my social media, but that's because it's that important. So if you've watched this entire video, hopefully you enjoyed it. This is something new to me, posting in this format. If you appreciate it, comment and let me know that you like it. That way I continue to do it. If not, I might go to other different styles. I'm trying to still figure out what works for me and what I enjoy, but I do like this. So if you enjoy, if you appreciate it, let me know. But yeah, that's all I got. This has been my run and my little rants in between. Hopefully you learned something, but yeah, peace.